Welcome to Top Rare Coins, your ultimate destination for discovering the hidden treasures of history. On this channel, we explore some of the most fascinating and valuable old coins from the United States. From rare pennies and silver dollars to historic coins worth thousands of dollars. Each piece has a story waiting to be uncovered. Whether you're a collector, a history lover, or just curious about coins you might have lying around, this channel will guide you through the world of rare U.S. coins, helping you valuable finds and learn what makes them so special. Don't forget to subscribe and join us as we uncover the secrets behind America's rarest coins. Here is a professional, engaging, and YouTube-ready script of approximately 1,200 words. Have you ever looked at a small, ordinary coin and wondered if it could secretly be worth a fortune? Today, we are diving into one of the most fascinating coins in American numismatic history, the 1965 Liberty 1 cent, with no mint mark. A coin that might look simple at first glance, but in rare cases has been valued at astonishing prices starting from $1.2 million. Let that sink in for a moment. A single penny, worth more than a luxury home. In this video, we will explore what makes this coin so special, why collectors are willing to pay extraordinary amounts for it, and how you might be able to identify one yourself. So stay with me, because by the end of this video, you might feel the urge to check every coin in your pocket. Let's start with some background. The year 1965 was a turning point in United States coinage. Due to rising silver prices and economic pressures, the U.S. Mint made major changes to coin production. One of the most notable changes was the removal of mint marks from coins between 1965 and 1967. This was done to discourage hoarding and to simplify production during a time of high demand. That means, technically, all pennies from 1965 do not carry a mint mark. However, not all 1965 pennies are valuable. In fact, most are worth only their face value. What makes certain 1965 Liberty 1 cent coins so incredibly rare and valuable? The answer lies in minting errors and unique characteristics. Some of these coins were struck under unusual conditions, resulting in errors that make them highly desirable among collectors. These errors could include double die impressions, off-center strikes, or even coins struck on the wrong metal planchet. Among these, one of the most valuable types is the extremely rare error coin that combines multiple unusual features, such as a sharp strike, exceptional preservation, and subtle minting anomalies. Collectors often refer to these as hidden treasures because they can easily go unnoticed by the untrained eye. Now, let's talk about the design of the coin. The 1965 Liberty 1 cent features the iconic profile of Abraham Lincoln on the front. This design, known as the Lincoln Memorial Cent, was first introduced in 1959 to commemorate the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. On the reverse side, you will find the image of the Lincoln Memorial, a symbol of unity and history. This design remained in circulation until 2008, making it one of the longest-running coin designs in U.S. history. While the design itself is not rare, the condition and specific variations of the coin play a huge role in determining its value. Coins that are in mint state condition, meaning they show no signs of wear, are significantly more valuable than circulated ones. But when you combine mint condition with a rare error, the value can skyrocket. This is how we arrive at those jaw-dropping valuations starting from $1.2 million. Now, you might be wondering, how can a small coin reach such a high price? The answer lies in rarity, demand, and historical significance. In the world of coin collecting, also known as numismatics, rarity is king. The fewer examples that exist of a particular coin, the more valuable it becomes. If only a handful of these rare 1965 era pennies exist, collectors are willing to compete fiercely to own one. Demand is another crucial factor. Wealthy collectors and investors often seek unique and rare items to diversify their portfolios. A one-of-a-kind coin with a compelling story can become a centerpiece of a prestigious collection. And finally, historical significance adds emotional and cultural value. Coins are not just pieces of metal, they are snapshots of history. Owning a rare coin is like holding a piece of the past in your hand. Let's move on to how you can identify a potentially valuable 1965 Liberty 1 cent first. Check the date carefully. Make sure it clearly reads 1965 and has no mint mark below the date. Second, examine the coin's condition. Look for coins that appear shiny, well-preserved, and free from scratches or heavy wear. Third, inspect for errors. This step requires a bit more attention to detail. Use a magnifying glass to look for doubling in the lettering, unusual shapes, or misaligned features. Also, pay attention to the color and weight of the coin. Some rare errors involve coins being struck on the wrong metal, which can slightly alter their appearance and weight. That if you believe you have found something unusual, do not rush to sell it immediately. Instead, have it professionally evaluated by a reputable coin grading service. These experts can authenticate the coin, assess its condition, and assign it a grade that significantly impacts its market value. Graded coins often sell for much higher prices because buyers trust the certification process. Now, let's talk about the market. The rare coin market has grown significantly over the years, with collectors around the world participating in auctions and private sales. Online platforms and auction houses have made it easier than ever to buy and sell rare coins. When a rare 1965 Liberty 1 cent with unique characteristics appears on the market, it attracts intense interest. Bidding wars can drive the price far beyond initial estimates, especially if the coin is in exceptional condition. It is important to note that not every 1965 penny is worth thousands or millions of dollars. In fact, the vast majority are common and hold little value beyond their face value. However, the possibility that a rare and valuable coin could be hiding in plain sight is what makes coin collecting so exciting. It is like a treasure hunt that anyone can participate in. Imagine finding a coin in your spare change that could change your financial future. That possibility keeps collectors searching, learning, and exploring. Before we wrap up, here are a few tips for beginners interested in coin collecting. Start by educating yourself. Learn about different types of coins, minting processes, and common errors. Invest in basic tools such as a magnifying glass and a coin guidebook. Handle coins carefully and store them in protective holders to preserve their condition. And most importantly, be patient. Building a valuable collection takes time, dedication, and a keen eye for detail. Today, at first glance, it looks like an ordinary penny, something most people wouldn't think twice about. But for collectors and enthusiasts, this small copper coin represents an opportunity, a story, and in some cases, a significant financial reward. Let's begin with the basics. The Liberty 1 cent, more commonly recognized as the Lincoln cent, features the iconic profile of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse. This design was introduced in 1909 and has remained one of the most recognizable coin designs in circulation. By 1973, millions of these coins were being produced annually. The reverse side during this period displayed the Lincoln Memorial, a design that had been in use since 1959. Now, when we talk about a 1973 penny with no mint mark, it's important to understand what that actually means. In the United States coin system, mint marks indicate where a coin was produced. Common mint marks include D for Denver and S for San Francisco. However, coins produced in Philadelphia during that era typically did not carry a mint mark. So, technically speaking, a 1973 penny without a mint mark was minted in Philadelphia. That might sound ordinary, and in most cases, it is. Millions of 1973 pennies without mint marks exist, and the vast majority of them are only worth their face value or slightly more. But here's where things get interesting. Not all coins are created equal, even if they share the same date and mint origin. Subtle differences, minting errors, and exceptional preservation can transform an ordinary coin into something extraordinary. Collectors are always on the lookout for coins that stand out. With the 1973 no mint mark penny, certain factors can dramatically increase its value. One of the most important is condition. Coins that have never been circulated, often referred to as uncirculated or mint state coins, can command significantly higher prices. These coins retain their original luster, have sharp details, and show no signs of wear. Another key factor is the presence of minting errors. Errors can occur during the production process, and when they do, they create unique variations that collectors find highly desirable. Examples include double die errors, off-center strikes, or unusual planchet flaws. A 1973 penny with a noticeable and authenticated error can be worth far more than a standard example. There's also the concept of rarity within common coins. While millions were minted, only a small fraction survive in pristine condition or with notable errors. This scarcity drives demand, and when demand increases, so does value. Now let's address the most exciting part, the potential market value. There have been claims and reports suggesting that certain rare versions of the 1973 Liberty 1 cent with no mint mark can reach astonishing prices, even starting from $1,200 million. While such figures represent the extreme upper end and would require an exceptionally rare and unique specimen, they highlight the importance of understanding what you might have in your possession. In reality, most 1973 no-mint mark pennies will not reach such extraordinary values. However, high-grade examples graded by professional coin grading services can still sell for impressive amounts. Coins graded MS-65 or higher, especially those with strong eye appeal, can fetch hundreds or even thousands of dollars in the right market conditions. Add a rare error into the mix, and the value can climb even further. So how do you know if your coin is valuable? The first step is careful inspection. Look at the coin under good lighting. Check for sharp details, original shine, and any unusual features. Pay close attention to the date and the lettering. If you notice doubling, misalignment, or anything that seems out of the ordinary, it might be worth investigating further. The next step is authentication and grading. Professional grading services evaluate coins based on their condition and authenticity. Having your coin graded not only confirms its legitimacy, but also provides a standardized assessment of its quality. This can significantly increase buyer confidence and, in turn, the coin's market value. Storage also plays a crucial role. Coins should be kept in a controlled environment, away from moisture, heat, and direct handling. Using protective holders or coin capsules can help preserve their condition over time. Even a small scratch or loss of luster can impact value, so proper care is essential. Another aspect that adds to the appeal of the 1973 no-mint mark penny is the accessibility. Unlike many rare coins that are locked away in collections or museums, these pennies were widely circulated. That means there's always a chance that one could be sitting in a jar, a drawer, or even your pocket change. This sense of possibility is what keeps collectors searching and makes the hobby so exciting. It's also worth noting the role of market trends. Coin values can fluctuate based on demand, economic conditions, and collector interest. A coin that is highly sought after today might see even greater demand in the future, especially as more people become interested in numismatics and rare collectibles. For those new to coin collecting, the 1973 Liberty 1 cent with no mint mark serves as a great entry point. It's a reminder that valuable items don't always come in obvious forms. Sometimes, they're hidden in plain sight, waiting to be discovered by someone with a keen eye and a bit of curiosity. Today, we're diving into one of those fascinating stories, the 1977 Lincoln 1 cent coin with no mint mark, a coin that has sparked curiosity, excitement, and serious value in the collector's market. Let's start with the basics. The 1977 Lincoln cent is part of the long-running Lincoln penny series, first introduced in 1909. This iconic coin features the portrait of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, designed by Victor David Brenner. On the reverse, you'll find the classic wheat ears design replaced earlier in 1959 by the Lincoln Memorial, which remained until 2008. So visually, the 1977 penny might look familiar and even ordinary to most people. But here's where things get interesting. Many collectors get confused when they hear the phrase no mint mark. They assume it's a rare error or something unusual. In reality, coins without a mint mark during that time were typically produced at the Philadelphia Mint. So technically, a 1977 penny with no mint mark is not an error by default. Millions of these coins were produced, so why are some of them worth over $1,200 or more? The answer lies in condition, rarity within grades, and subtle variations. In coin collecting, condition is everything. Coins are graded on a scale that ranges from poor condition all the way up to mint state grades like MS-65, MS-66, and even higher. Most 1977 pennies that you'll find in circulation are heavily worn. They may have scratches, discoloration, and signs of long-term use. These coins are generally worth only their face value or slightly more. However, when you find a 1977 Lincoln cent with no mint mark in pristine, uncirculated condition, the story changes dramatically. Coins that have never been used in everyday transactions and have been preserved with exceptional care can achieve high mint state grades. These are the coins collectors are willing to pay serious money for. For example, a 1977 penny graded MS-66 or MS-67 with a strong, clean strike and vibrant original luster can command prices ranging from hundreds to over $1,200, depending on market demand. These high-grade coins are incredibly difficult to find because most coins from that era were released into circulation and used extensively. Now let's talk about another critical factor: eye appeal. Even among high-grade coins, appearance matters a lot. Collectors look for coins with bright, original red color, often referred to as RD or red designation. Copper coins like the Lincoln cent can change color over time due to oxidation, turning brown or spotted. A fully red 1977 penny in top condition is far more desirable than one that has faded or developed uneven toning. That means if you happen to find a 1977 no mint mark penny that still has its original bright copper shine, you could be holding something truly special. There's also the possibility of minor errors and varieties. While the standard 1977 penny without a mint mark is common, certain coins may exhibit unique characteristics such as die cracks, off-center strikes, or doubling in the lettering. These subtle differences can increase a coin's value significantly, especially if they are well documented and sought after by collectors. For instance, a double die variety, where the design appears slightly duplicated due to a misalignment during the minting process, can turn an otherwise ordinary coin into a highly collectible piece. Another factor influencing value is professional grading. Coins that have been certified and graded by reputable organizations tend to fetch higher prices. These grading services evaluate the coin's authenticity and condition, assigning it a grade that collectors trust. A 1977 penny with no mint mark that has been professionally graded as MS-67 red can easily reach or exceed the $1,200 range in auctions. Now you might be wondering, how can you tell if your 1977 penny is valuable? First, take a close look at its condition. Is the coin shiny, with minimal marks or scratches? Does it still have that original reddish color? Second, examine the details carefully. Look at Lincoln's face, the lettering, and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. Sharp, well-defined features are a good sign of a higher quality coin. Third, consider getting it evaluated by a professional grading service if you believe it might be in exceptional condition. This step can make a huge difference in determining its true market value. That it's also important to address a common misconception. You may have seen claims online suggesting that all 1977 pennies with no mint mark are worth thousands of dollars. This is not true. The vast majority of these coins are only worth 1 cent. The high values apply only to coins in top-tier condition or with rare characteristics. The coin market operates on supply and demand. While millions of 1977 pennies were produced, only a tiny fraction remain in near-perfect condition today. That scarcity is what drives up the price. Now let's talk about real-world market trends. Auction records show that top-grade examples of the 1977 Lincoln cent have sold for impressive amounts, especially when they feature exceptional eye appeal and are certified at the highest levels. Today, we're diving into a fascinating and potentially life-changing coin that many people have overlooked for decades: the 1985 Lincoln 1 cent with no mint mark. What if I told you that a coin you might have seen countless times could be worth as much as $1.2 million in today's market under the right conditions? Let's explore the story, the mystery, and the value behind this remarkable coin. First, a little background. The Lincoln cent, introduced in 1909, is one of the most iconic coins in American history. By 1985, billions of these pennies were being produced every year. Most were struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which traditionally did not include a mint mark on coins until later years. So at first glance, a 1985 penny without a mint mark might seem completely normal. But here's where things get interesting. While most 1985 pennies without a mint mark are indeed common and worth only face value, there are rare variations and minting errors that transform these ordinary coins into extraordinary collectibles. These rare coins are highly sought after by collectors and investors, and their value can skyrocket depending on specific features. One of the key factors that can make a 1985 penny extremely valuable is a minting error. Mint errors occur during the coin production process and can include double strikes, off-center strikes, die cracks, and double dies. Among these, the double die variety is especially prized. A double die coin shows visible doubling in the design, often seen in the lettering or numbers. If you look closely at the date, the word liberty, or the motto "In God We Trust," you might notice slight overlapping or shadow-like duplication. This is not damage. It's a rare production error, and collectors love it. Another major factor is condition. Coin grading plays a huge role in determining value. Coins are graded on a scale from poor condition to mint state perfection. A 1985 penny in average circulated condition might be worth just 1 cent. But if you have a coin in near-perfect condition, what experts call mint state 67 or higher, the value can increase dramatically. Now imagine combining a rare error with an almost flawless condition. That's where things get exciting. There have been cases where exceptionally rare 1985 pennies with unique characteristics have sold for thousands, even tens of thousands of dollars. And in extremely rare, almost legendary cases, collectors estimate that certain one-of-a-kind error coins could reach values approaching $1.2 million in private sales or high-profile auctions. So what should you look for? Start by examining the date carefully. Make sure it clearly reads 1985 and check for any unusual doubling. Next, look at the word liberty and the phrase "In God We Trust." Use a magnifying glass or a coin microscope if possible. Small details matter. Also, inspect the coin's surface. Does it have a strong, shiny luster? Are there any scratches, discoloration, or signs of wear? The fewer imperfections, the better. Weight and composition can also provide clues. A standard 1985 penny weighs about 2.5 grams, as it is made primarily of zinc with a copper coating. If your coin feels heavier or looks different in color, it could be a rare transitional error or composition mistake. Another thing to consider is the strike quality. A sharply struck coin with clear details in Lincoln's hair and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse side is more desirable. Weak or blurry details usually indicate a lower value. Now let's talk about authentication. If you believe you have a rare 1985 penny, the next step is to get it professionally evaluated. Reputable coin grading services can authenticate your coin and assign it a grade. This not only confirms its legitimacy, but also significantly increases its market value and buyer confidence. Selling a rare coin is also an art. High-value coins are typically sold through major auction houses or private collectors. The right platform can make a huge difference in how much your coin ultimately sells for. Timing is another important factor. The coin market fluctuates based on demand, collector interest, and economic conditions. A coin that sells for a certain price today might fetch even more in the future as rarity and demand increase. So why is the 1985 penny gaining so much attention now? In recent years, there has been a surge in interest in coin collecting, fueled by online communities, social media, and viral stories of people discovering valuable coins in everyday pocket change. These stories inspire others to start looking more closely at their own coins, hoping to find a hidden treasure, and sometimes, those treasures are real. Imagine finding a coin in your old jar of change that could pay off your debts, fund your dreams, or even change your life entirely. That's the excitement and allure of coin collecting, but it's important to stay realistic. Not every 1985 penny is worth a fortune. In fact, the vast majority are still only worth 1 cent. The million-dollar value applies only to extremely rare examples with unique characteristics, exceptional condition, and strong collector demand. Still, the possibility is enough to make it worth checking. So the next time you come across a 1985 penny with no mint mark, don't just toss it aside. Take a closer look. Examine the details. You might be holding something far more valuable than you ever imagined. Today, let's begin with the basics. The 1988 Lincoln Cent features the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, a design that has been a staple of American coinage since 1909. On the reverse, you'll find the Lincoln Memorial, a design that was used until 2008. These coins were minted in large numbers, primarily in Philadelphia and Denver. Typically, coins produced in Philadelphia during that era did not carry a mint mark, while those from Denver featured a small D beneath the date. However, what makes the 1988 no mint mark penny so intriguing is not just its origin, but the possibility of rare variations and errors that dramatically increase its value. While most 1988 pennies without a mint mark are quite common and only worth a few cents, Certain examples stand out due to unique characteristics that collectors are willing to pay significant amounts for. One of the most talked about aspects of this coin is the potential for transitional design varieties. In 1988, the United States Mint made subtle changes to the design punches used for coin production. These changes can sometimes be detected in the shape and positioning of letters or numbers, particularly in the mint mark or date. While these differences may seem minor, they are extremely important in the world of numismatics. Now, imagine discovering a coin that appears ordinary but actually contains one of these rare variations. That is where the excitement begins. Collectors often use magnification tools to inspect their coins, searching for slight differences in lettering, spacing, or alignment. A small detail can mean the difference between a coin worth a few cents and one worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. The idea that a 1988 no-mint mark penny could reach a market value starting from $1,200 million may sound unbelievable at first. However, in the world of rare coins, value is driven by a combination of rarity, condition, demand, and historical significance. While such a high valuation would only apply to an extremely rare and possibly unique specimen, it highlights the potential hidden within everyday objects. Condition plays a crucial role in determining value. Coins are graded on a scale that ranges from heavily worn to perfect mint state. A coin that has never been circulated and retains its original luster will always command a higher price. For a 1988 penny to reach extraordinary value levels, it would need to be in exceptional condition, possibly graded as mint state 67 or higher by professional grading services. Another factor that contributes to value is error classification. Coins can have minting errors such as double dies, off-center strikes, or incorrect planchets. These errors occur during the production process and are highly sought after by collectors. If a 1988 no-mint mark penny were to exhibit a rare and well-documented error, its value could increase dramatically. It is also important to understand the role of collector demand. The coin market is driven by enthusiasts who are constantly searching for rare and unique pieces to add to their collections. When a coin gains attention due to a newly discovered variety or error, demand can surge, pushing prices higher. Social media, online auctions, and collector forums all contribute to the rapid spread of information, making it easier than ever for a rare coin to gain recognition. For those who are new to coin collecting, the idea of finding a valuable penny in everyday change is incredibly appealing. It turns a simple hobby into a treasure hunt. Many collectors began their journey by searching through rolls of coins from banks or examining the change they received in daily transactions. The thrill of discovery keeps the hobby alive and continues to attract new enthusiasts. If you believe you have a 1988 Liberty 1 cent with no mint mark that could be valuable, the first step is careful examination. Use a magnifying glass or a coin microscope to inspect the details. Look closely at the date, lettering, and overall design. Compare your coin with verified examples from reputable sources to identify any unusual features. The next step is authentication. Professional grading services can evaluate your coin and provide an official grade and certification. This not only confirms the authenticity of the coin, but also enhances its marketability. Certified coins are generally more trusted by buyers and can command higher prices in the market. Storage is another important consideration. Coins should be kept in a clean, dry environment to prevent damage. Exposure to moisture, air, and handling can degrade a coin's condition over time. Using protective holders or coin albums can help preserve the coin's quality and maintain its value. As we explore the story of the 1988 no-mint mark penny, it becomes clear that its true value lies not just in its potential price, but in the excitement and curiosity it inspires. It reminds us that even the smallest and most ordinary objects can hold extraordinary stories. The world of coin collecting is filled with surprises, and the 1988 Liberty 1 cent is a perfect example of that. Whether you are a seasoned collector or just starting out, this coin represents the endless possibilities that exist within the hobby. It encourages you to look closer, ask questions, and appreciate the history behind each piece. Today, we're diving into one of the most talked about coins among collectors and enthusiasts, the 1995 Liberty 1 cent that appears to have no mint mark, a coin that has sparked curiosity, debate, and even claims of values starting from $1,200 million. Imagine holding a simple penny in your hand. It looks ordinary, feels ordinary, and yet, under the right circumstances, it could be anything but ordinary. That is exactly what makes this topic so exciting. The idea that a coin many people might overlook could actually be worth an extraordinary amount of money is what keeps collectors searching, checking, and hoping. Let's start with the basics. The 1995 Lincoln cent, often called the Liberty 1 cent, is part of a long-running series of pennies featuring Abraham Lincoln on the front. These coins were produced in massive numbers by the United States Mint, primarily in Philadelphia and Denver. Typically, coins from Denver carry a small D mint mark, while coins from Philadelphia in 1995 were produced without any mint mark at all. So, at first glance, a 1995 penny with no mint mark is not unusual. In fact, it is quite common. But here is where things get interesting. Not all coins are created equal. Within large-scale production, minting errors, rare die variations, and unusual characteristics can occur. These are the factors that can transform a regular coin into something highly desirable. One of the most famous variations from 1995 is the double die obverse. This error shows noticeable doubling in the lettering on the front of the coin, especially in the words Liberty and In God We Trust. Collectors actively search for this variation, and verified examples can sell for significantly higher prices than ordinary pennies. Now, let's address the idea of a 1995 Liberty 1 cent with no mint mark being worth $1,200 million. That figure is incredibly eye-catching, and it's no surprise that it grabs attention online. However, it's important to approach such claims with a clear and informed perspective. In the professional coin collecting market, values are determined by several key factors. These include rarity, condition, demand, historical significance, and authentication by recognized grading organizations. While rare coins can indeed sell for thousands or even millions of dollars, such cases are extremely rare and well documented. For a 1995 penny to reach a value anywhere near the millions, it would need to possess an extraordinary and verifiable error or unique characteristic that sets it apart from all known examples. As of now, there is no widely recognized or authenticated 1995 no mint mark penny that is sold for anything close to $1,200 million. That said, certain high-grade examples of error coins can still be quite valuable. A 1995 double die penny in excellent condition can sell for hundreds or even a few $1,000s, depending on its grade. Coins graded in near-perfect condition by professional services, such as PCGS or NGC, tend to command the highest prices. So, what should you look for if you think you might have a valuable 1995 penny? First, examine the coin carefully under good lighting. Look closely at the lettering on the front. Pay special attention to Liberty and In God We Trust. If you notice clear doubling, not just slight blurriness, you may have something worth investigating further. Second, check the overall condition of the coin. Coins that have minimal wear, sharp details, and strong luster are far more valuable than those that are heavily circulated. Third, consider having the coin authenticated and graded by a professional service. This step is crucial if you believe your coin could be valuable. Authentication provides credibility, and grading establishes the coin's condition on a standardized scale. Another important point to remember is that misinformation can spread quickly, especially on social media and video platforms. Eye-catching headlines and exaggerated claims can create unrealistic expectations. While it's exciting to imagine finding a coin worth millions, it's essential to rely on verified information and trusted sources. The real beauty of coin collecting lies not just in the potential financial value, but in the history, craftsmanship, and thrill of discovery. Every coin has a story, and sometimes, that story can lead to surprising rewards. Even if your 1995 penny doesn't turn out to be worth millions, it could still be a valuable addition to a collection or a great starting point for learning more about numismatics. Many collectors began their journey with a simple coin that sparked their curiosity. So, before you dismiss that small copper coin in your pocket, take a closer look. You never know what you might find. While the chances of discovering a multi-million-dollar rarity are extremely slim, the excitement of the search and the knowledge you gain along the way are priceless.